Imagine crossing a border with nothing but hope, believing that tomorrow will somehow be better than today. Now imagine losing the only roof you had left. That is the heartbreaking reality facing a group of Zimbabwean immigrants in Pietermaritzburg, South Africa. As winter temperatures continue to fall, another freezing night now awaits dozens of men, women and children after they were evicted from a church in Westmore Park that had been providing them with temporary shelter. The images coming from the scene have left many people asking difficult questions. Where will these families sleep tonight? Who will help them? And how did they end up in this desperate situation? Stay with us until the end, because this story is about far more than one church. It is about the human cost of migration, survival, and the search for hope. Also, I'm going to play the video for you, so you watch. Make sure you stay with us.
Well, Xoli, another cold evening is approaching here in Pietermaritzburg, and uncertainty is growing for all these families who are here at the church. Now, they told us that the municipality was here yesterday, and they were requested to leave. In fact, they were given 2 hours to pack their things and to vacate this building. No reason really was given to them, either than that they are not needed here. But of course, because they said to us that they have got nowhere else to go, they are still here. Now, as you can see, evening is approaching and they are preparing a meal for all of them. This is a makeshift kitchen that they've been using since they arrived here on Tuesday evening. Now, majority of them came here on Tuesday immediately after the marches that were marches that were going on throughout the province, throughout the country. Now, we are told that most of them will come from the townships such as Zimbabwe, others from Howick, and the one guy we know, he comes from Tugela Ferry. They told us that in the evening, groups in their communities were formed and they were doing door-to-door searches in their townships, and they were looking for the landlords who were still allowing foreign nationals to be in their premises. Now, they were then individually told to vacate those homes, and they all came to this site. Now, they've been here then since Tuesday, and they told us that, well, they are still hoping that buses will be arranged for them because they just want to go home now. You'll see, Xoli, that they are sleeping in an open field, and some are in the parking area of this church building. They do have blankets, but of course, that's not enough considering how cold it gets here in Pietermaritzburg in the evenings. Well, we spoke to one gentleman earlier, actually. He told us that he does have a South African ID, but he has been told to vacate as well. And he told us that, well, his father is actually from Zimbabwe. That's why now he's leaving, because his community said he is affiliated with foreign nationals. Therefore, he's no longer welcome. It's a story really for majority of the families that we see here. They are still hoping that the buses will come, but nobody really knows when it will happen, so they can make their way back to Zimbabwe. Xoli.
It is a terrible situation, Letuxolo. As you talk to us, we can hear the cries of babies in the background. Talk to us about whether there are any humanitarian groups that are helping this group of people.
Of course, Xoli, the food that you see that is being prepared here has been brought by some church leaders. Well, some of them are still here. So they have been assisting these families since Tuesday. They've provided the food. They make sure that there is water. They have also provided some mobile toilets. There is also a shop right across the church that has been assisting, allowing them to get hot water from them, and they have offered some food as well. There's a lot of children here. There's really a lot of children, but luckily for them, we did see a car from a concerned resident. It had some jackets, some clothes, some warm clothes, and the parents did get some clothes from there. But it is, I can say, a dire situation, and they are hoping for someone to come and assist them, but mainly they just want the buses to come so they can make their way back to Zimbabwe. Xoli.
Letuxolo Nxumalo, thank you very much. She's talking to us from Pietermaritzburg.
Dozens of Zimbabwean families are preparing for another night at a church in Pietermaritzburg that has become their only place of safety. Many say they are frightened, have nowhere else to go, and simply want help to return home.
We are not getting much joy from our local authorities here because they want people to disperse from it. But people don't have anywhere to go. Last week we had an 8-day-old baby who was with us here, and they fortunately left on Tuesday. Now we have 2-month-old kids that are sitting here. And our main concern is the welfare of the kids, is their health, their health care here. You know, this is a camp. There can be an outbreak of disease here. We haven't even received any help from the Doctors Without Borders. We just keep on getting promises and promises. So our appeal is to the authorities, please, can find it in your hearts to allow these people to stay here.
For many here, the church has become their last place of refuge.
Already I have 2 days here. As you can see me, I'm wearing these clothes. This is the whole clothes I have. I have nothing. They even took my phone. They made a robbery in the road when I was coming here. So we are actually under the cage, whereby outside the cage there are animals that we know that if we come out from this cage, they are going to eat us. They are going to do anything badly to us.
Families say they have already lost almost everything. Now, all they want is help to return home safely.
For many Zimbabweans, traveling to South Africa has long been seen as an opportunity to find work, support loved ones, and build a better future. Over the years, thousands have crossed the border legally and illegally in search of employment, hoping to earn enough money to send home to their families. While many have managed to establish new lives, others have struggled with unemployment, legal challenges, and the rising cost of living. In recent months, the situation has become even more difficult for many undocumented migrants. Increased immigration operations, tighter law enforcement, and changing circumstances have left some people without jobs, without stable accommodation, and with very few options. For those who had nowhere else to go, churches and community organizations became places of refuge, offering temporary shelter and hope during difficult times. One such place was a church in Westmore Park, Pietermaritzburg. For days, the church had opened its doors to Zimbabwean immigrants who had nowhere else to stay. Inside, they found temporary protection from the cold winter nights. Families slept together under one roof. Volunteers and community members tried to provide basic necessities wherever possible. Although conditions were difficult, at least there was somewhere to escape the freezing temperatures outside. But that temporary refuge has now come to an end. According to reports, the Zimbabwean immigrants were asked to leave the church, forcing them out of the building and into the cold. Suddenly, dozens of vulnerable people found themselves standing outside with their bags, blankets, and personal belongings, unsure where they would spend the night. If you're enjoying this report and want more updates on the biggest stories affecting Zimbabweans across Southern Africa, take a moment to subscribe and turn on notifications. We bring you the stories behind the headlines and keep you informed about the developments shaping our region. The eviction has sparked concern among many people, not only because families have lost shelter, but because winter temperatures in parts of South Africa can become dangerously cold overnight. Sleeping outside without proper protection increases the risk of illness, especially for children, elderly people, and anyone already facing health challenges. Reporter Letuxolo Nxumalo visited the scene to document what happened and to speak with those affected. The images reveal the difficult reality now facing the displaced group. Some sit quietly beside their belongings. Others continue searching for answers. Many simply do not know what tomorrow will bring. The situation has also reignited discussions about the responsibilities of communities, churches, humanitarian organizations, and government agencies when vulnerable migrants suddenly lose the little support they have. While churches often provide temporary assistance, many do not have the resources to accommodate large numbers of people indefinitely. Community leaders say the immediate priority is ensuring that those affected have access to emergency shelter, blankets, warm clothing, food, and medical assistance where necessary. Humanitarian organizations often stress that protecting vulnerable people during emergencies is essential regardless of their immigration status. For the Zimbabwean immigrants themselves, however, these discussions may feel very distant. Their biggest concern is far more immediate. Where will they sleep tonight? How will they protect their children from the cold? What happens if no one comes to help? These are the questions weighing heavily on families as another winter night approaches. The incident also highlights the wider challenges surrounding migration in Southern Africa. Economic pressures, unemployment, and changing immigration policies continue affecting thousands of people who crossed borders hoping for better opportunities. While governments work to enforce immigration laws, humanitarian organizations continue reminding the public that behind every migration statistic is a real person with a family, a story, and dreams for the future. Many Zimbabweans living in South Africa have worked for years in construction, agriculture, hospitality, domestic work, and small businesses. Some have successfully supported relatives back home through remittances. Others have found themselves struggling to survive after losing jobs or facing legal difficulties. Those challenges have become even greater for people without stable housing. Across social media, reactions to the Pietermaritzburg eviction have been mixed. Some people have expressed sympathy and called for urgent assistance for the displaced immigrants. Others have argued that long-term solutions require cooperation between governments, humanitarian organizations, and local communities. Many simply hope that no family will be forced to spend another freezing night without shelter.